Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my Devparty submission. And what I've done is I made a counterparty Dex Explorer, or I would call it an Explorer. But essentially, as a user, it's like browsing an exchange, except there's no login, and I don't hold any funds or broadcast any orders. Counterpart, this particular application has no database. It uses API calls and then caches them for 5, 10, 15 minutes or so. But yeah, it's, I don't know if light's the right word, but there's no database. It's very API driven, which I really had a lot of I really enjoyed working with. I hope more people use the Counterparty and Counterblock APIs. Okay, anyways, the front page is the latest traded tokens. You don't have to email anyone to get on this list. This is just pulled from the API. If you have volume, you're on this list, and you can click through and it'll have its own order book. I do a little bit of validation on the routes, so if you put in a nonsense token, it doesn't work. But the point is just be very focused on the DEX, and because the alternatives like CounterWallet has all these tools, but you have to put your private key in to get into the CounterWallet, and that might be inconvenient, or maybe your private keys are under some sort of security procedure. So this is sort of a much more direct way to look at what's going on in the DEX. You can just browse. You can look at the latest orders that have gone through and sort of look up on those. This here will bring you over to counterpartychain.io, tell you about the address, or you can look at the block scan, which has a nice little summary of orders inside blocks. But it focuses mainly just on looking at the orders and finding the orders you want to place. So I see, hopefully maybe this site will help people know more about the counterparty DEX, but also to use it more. So if you want to buy bit crystals, I think that's pretty popular on shapeshift.io. You could just find a buy or sell order that you like. And here's another little thing that I did, is you can click on a price that you like. I mean, obviously you should click on the top of the order book. You can't order down here without going through the order book. But what's on the top of the order book you can't order. And this will pre-populate the create order form for you if you want. Another thing about this site is that it assumes that the trading pair is counterparty for the most part. All the order books, like counterparty is the trading pair. The volume on the other ones is quite low, but you can still create an order for any pair. You can enter anything in here. So let me show you the order form. So I know that somebody is looking to sell their gorilla. So I'm searching for gorilla. So I get the gorilla order book here. Okay. Someone's selling 10 gorilla for a quarter of a counterparty. Okay. So I'm going to buy these. I like the price. I like the amount. It's good as is. Interesting thing about, I know that this order will be matched, so I'm just going to reduce the expiration to 6 blocks because I expect it to match. Now I need to put in my source address, so I'm going to use this address But before I do that, I'm going to drop in just an address that doesn't have enough Bitcoin on it. So it just checked for me on blockchain API, not enough Bitcoin for the fees. So I need to use a different address. Let's see. This one will do. Now, I know that this has sufficient XCP and Bitcoin, so when I click generate transaction, it should pass the validations that I have in place. When it does that, you get a raw transaction. It still needs to be signed, it still needs to be broadcast, but it's been generated for you here. You can copy it, bring it over here if you want, and you can sign it, or you can sign and broadcast it. So I'm going to broadcast it, and I've just successfully submitted an order for 10 Gorilla, and I'm paying 2.5 counterparty. That's an effective rate, and I have the whole thing worked out here. I've tested the QR code. It does work, but I'm not sure there's any app out there that can just like point and click sign a counterparty transaction right now. But it's there anyways. Definitely fix these typos on the counter wallet buttons, but that's the basic idea. I think this could be useful to people for kind of figuring out what the DEX is and how to use it, considering it as an alternative during maybe when sites like Cryptsy go down, or just more in general, because there is volume for certain trading pairs. Anyways, is there anything else that I left out? I'm not sure. I don't think so. But that's it. That's the demo of this site. If you have any questions, let me know. But this is it. This is and I know it might be controversial to call it xcpdex.com because it's sort of like the name of what it is. So I can also change the name if that's a problem. I just got really excited about it when I saw it was available. But that's, in a nutshell, Counterparty Dex. Check it out. It's on GitHub. Yep, thanks.